Hello, and welcome to today's episode, where we're diving into the fascinating and often tangled world of fraud investigation. If you're finding yourself venturing into this complex field, you're in the right place. Let me take you back to when I first started out. The sheer volume of things I needed to know was overwhelming. I wish there had been a guide like this to help navigate the many pitfalls I stumbled upon. This isn't just about theory or dry facts. We're going to talk about real-world applications, insights informed by years of experience, and the latest developments in investigating financial crimes. So, let's unpack the common pitfalls in money laundering and phishing operations, and share some tips to help you steer clear of trouble. Now, what makes this guide different from all the rest? Well, for starters, we aim to keep it practical and engaging. We won't get bogged down with complex jargon or rigid structures. Instead, we're focusing on what really works and why it works. Did you know that in 2023, about $3.1 trillion in illicit funds made their way through the global financial system? That staggering amount fuels everything from drug trafficking to human trafficking. Yet only a tiny fraction of that money is caught. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime often reports just how small a piece of the pie authorities manage to intercept. So, it's clear that the challenge we face is enormous. Throughout our discussion, I'll sprinkle in a few personal stories because learning from others' mistakes is a whole lot easier than making them yourself, right? The world of financial crime has seen dramatic changes in recent years. Traditional money laundering methods, which once heavily relied on physical cash transactions, have shifted to digital platforms, cryptocurrency exchanges, and sophisticated layering techniques. These span multiple jurisdictions. This digital revolution has created new opportunities and challenges for investigators. On one hand, digital transactions leave electronic trails that can be analyzed. But the sheer volume and complexity of these transactions can be overwhelming without the right tools and methodologies. Let's establish our foundation by understanding what we're up against. Money laundering and phishing operations may seem straightforward, but they're surprisingly tricky, much like a game of chess. Each move is calculated, and understanding the opponent's strategy is crucial. The strategies used in these operations are constantly evolving, making our job both challenging and exciting. For instance, did you know the volume of phishing attacks has skyrocketed by a staggering 4,151% since the advent of ChatGPT in 2022? It's a testament to how quickly threat actors adapt to new technologies and exploit them for malicious purposes. The level of sophistication in modern criminal enterprises is truly remarkable. Today's money launderers often have teams of specialists, including financial experts, tech professionals, and legal advisors, all helping them navigate regulatory frameworks. They're using techniques like trade-based money laundering to manipulate invoices and shipping documents, moving value across borders, and employing digital asset mixing services to obscure the origins of cryptocurrency transactions. One memorable client taught me to always look beyond the obvious. They were dealing with a case where everything seemed to point in one direction. But a tiny detail, a single email header, told a completely different story. It's these nuances that make all the difference, reminding you that the devil is often in the details. In that particular case, the email metadata revealed that what appeared to be a domestic transaction was actually orchestrated from overseas, completely changing the investigation's scope and the applicable legal frameworks. Understanding the psychological aspects of these crimes is also vital. Phishing operations, in particular, rely heavily on social engineering techniques that exploit human psychology. Criminals carefully study their targets, often using information gathered from social media profiles, public records, and data breaches. They craft highly personalized and convincing messages, making modern phishing attempts far more dangerous than the old-school Nigerian prince emails. When it comes to money laundering, there are often telltale signs if you know where to look. Unusual transaction patterns, the use of shell companies, and complex ownership structures are just the beginning. Digital transactions have made it easier for criminals to exploit banking systems, but have also created new opportunities for detection through advanced analytics. Phishing scams are also becoming increasingly sophisticated. In the first quarter of 2024 alone, over 1 million phishing attacks were observed. Surprisingly, a concerning 80% of phishing websites now use HTTPS, making them appear legitimate to the unsuspecting eye. Modern money laundering red flags go beyond traditional indicators. Investigators should watch for the rapid movement of funds through multiple accounts, especially when these accounts are opened in quick succession. The use of digital payment platforms and peer-to-peer transfer services has created new avenues for layering transactions. Criminals often exploit the speed and convenience of these platforms, moving money through dozens of accounts within hours to obscure the audit trail. Geographic patterns offer crucial insights as well. Money launderers often route transactions through jurisdictions with weak anti-money laundering controls or bank secrecy laws. They might also leverage time zone differences to conduct transactions when oversight is minimal, like doing transfers late on Friday afternoons when compliance teams are less likely to monitor systems in real time. The integration of artificial intelligence by criminal organizations introduces new challenges. Some sophisticated operations use machine learning algorithms to identify optimal transaction patterns less likely to trigger automated detection systems. They analyze historical data to understand how financial institutions' monitoring systems work and adjust their methods accordingly. As we dig deeper into this fascinating world, the complexity only grows. Investigators must be skilled at tracing transactions and identifying patterns. Advanced techniques like data mining and behavioral analysis are invaluable, but they're not foolproof. There's a fine line between finding patterns and seeing patterns where none exist. It's a delicate balance, especially when dealing with fragmented data across multiple platforms. A common challenge in anti-money laundering investigations. The art of investigation requires a multidisciplinary approach. Financial analysis needs to be combined with technical expertise, legal knowledge, and often cultural understanding, especially in international cases. Investigators need to comprehend not just how money moves, but why it moves in particular patterns. This requires a deep understanding of legitimate business practices across various industries to distinguish between unusual but legal activities and genuinely suspicious behavior. Data visualization has become an essential tool in this space. In the end, what it boils down to is a combination of skill, technology, and a dash of intuition. It's about connecting the dots and knowing where to look when things don't quite add up. So, as we wrap up, I hope this conversation has provided you with valuable insights into the complex world of money laundering and phishing investigations. Remember, it's a constantly evolving field that demands constant learning and adaptation. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep honing your skills. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep fighting the good fight against financial crime. Take care and talk soon.